a Marlins game, the people, even in the fancy schmancy seats behind home plate there, everybody's on their cell phone and nobody's watching the action. Nobody.
Our friend George was asking if how much would they pay you? How much would they have to pay to go to the game? And I laughed. I said, Defo used to go regularly. That
it's a good ballpark from viewing. Yes. The problem is crossing into Dade County. I mean, as soon as you cross into Dade County, the driving tactics are altered completely. It's like Formula One versus NASCAR from Broward to Dade.
Is it bad that I feel more comfortable there? Like I was there Saturday.
Yeah.
Just driving like a loon. And it's accepted.
I spent much time there, trust me.
Like I get into Broward and I have to like control myself. And it's not like Broward's perfect. It's still South Florida, but it's
no. I mean, the drivers are awful. Probably. I mean, you would hear this in every city. Oh, man, nobody drives.
No, Miami's great. Miami, you can do like the stuff you would get honked.
You don't know
at.
if the guy next to you is passed away and is at the wheel. Like literally Weekend at Bernie.
Like you pull moves anywhere, even in Broward, like you cut someone off the middle finger, and I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even do anything to you. But if you drive in Miami like a lunatic, no one even notices. They're like, yeah, that's normal.
Very normal, yeah. I mean, the rules are suspended there of any kind of road etiquette. That's for sure.
They don't honk.
Tires are flying out of nowhere, even though they didn't come off any car. People are dropping stones from the bridges. The fuck?
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very pleasant good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Defo Show. Jeff DeForest, we got Mike Lubitz on the which side of the screen are you on? Am I looking at this backwards? I'm not sure, but whatever it is, the handsome gentleman is Mike Lubitz, and it's a pleasure to be with you. And we had a great day yesterday because what is it that you most would seek out in this business if your business was to offer opinion and try to illuminate what's going on in the world of sport? And or whatever. I mean, the subject you happen to be talking about. If you're doing this kind of work, I don't know that you're seeking it, but it's always nice to get validation, is it not, Lubie?
Sure.
Where you would say that quarterback, he sucks, and then it turns out he sucked. Even though everybody. Mac Jones with the Patriots, for example. There were many people that, like me, got sucked in on that first pass he threw in the preseason when, with no pass rush whatsoever, he lobbed the ball to a running back, and I said, there he is, Brady. And you said, no, the guy sucks. And it turns out he sucked. I mean, buried Belichick in the process and probably saved Don Shula's record. Did he not? Mac Jones, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You could attach a lot of significance to Mac Jones's failed career that all would be of great consequence in National Football League history. You don't think Shula's happy that they drafted Mac Jones and that you were right, Lubie? Of course. So it feels good. I mean, when we had Phil Shane on the show, when he's, said, hey, I'm reluctant to do your show, DeForest, because I've heard your opinions about soccer. But he knows that, I mean, we're half kidding. No, we're not kidding. Soccer, I mean, it's an abortion of a game. And once again, we've had our opinion validated. But when, we predicted the name our own goal to open up the World Cup scoring for Brazil, we were mocked, Lubie. I mean, we were just absolutely crucified all across America.
They had never scored an own goal ever. Brazil had never scored.
Ever. What are we talking about here? Colombia? Hey, Escobar, I'll see you at the bar. That had nothing to do. It's amazing that story on that 30 for 30 came out. It had nothing to do with him, being gunned down by angry soccer fans. It just was like a bad place at a bad time, right? I mean, even Hector Macho Camacho, when he got shot mysteriously in his native Puerto Rico, I still haven't figured out exactly what happened, but there was always the inference that maybe, some drug deal was going down or gone bad. In this case, I mean, it was just bizarre bad luck, right? Wrong place, wrong time. Nonetheless, so we know these people are crazy, and we've said this, and we've maintained this, and I think we got further validation on many fronts yesterday when it comes to soccer as the Olympic Games got underway. And I think it's appropriate that the soccer competition was contested sort of outside the winter game. I mean, the summer games, because you haven't had the opening ceremonies yet. So how do you have a competition?
I don't know. I always find that weird that like that Wednesday before you'll see events that do count.
Yes. Yeah. We got 2 archery medals already. I mean, what the fuck? It hasn't started yet.
Look, wait, JNC Oyster opened 2 months ago, and they just had the ribbon cutting last week. So I guess, you can do a soft opening, whether it be the Olympics or restaurant. I guess that happens.
The official grand opening, but you're competing. You're essentially saying, I don't know that you're saying that these sports are not as meaningful or at the same level. Soccer would be. I mean, everybody's trying to convince you that soccer is the number 1 sport in the world, which it's strictly something that is embraced by a very, very radical lunatic fringe, Lubie. You see what happened in this Morocco-Argentina game? Now, Argentina just won some schmanky cup that they win every year, right? The Copa Americas.
Copa is schmank. Yeah. Copa is schmank. Olympics are higher than Copa.
They are. Okay, so this is considered a big... then why wouldn't some of their leading players commit to being in the Olympics?
Because they just got out of Euros.
The other stupid tournaments,
Euros, not stupid. Euros, and they'll have their season coming up, and there's only so many they can do, but they want to win it. I mean, it's still a gold medal for you. It's like, look, it's like the basketball one, where I love Segredo. The basketball Olympics has nothing to do with the NBA title, but you do see stars want to be a part of the team, and they do appreciate winning a gold medal for their country. So it holds.
You don't think it's mostly a marketing thing?
No, I think it holds some weight.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's too cynical of a view.
Yeah, it's not cynical in every aspect, but yes, a lot of the people that are in the Olympics, it is for the quote unquote love of the game, and it does matter supporting and representing your country. It's just in soccer and basketball, it's not, the highest achievement. It's your team sport.
Okay. I mean, I understand that. Look, tennis, where does the Olympic gold medal rank?
That's way.
You see, some woman that's ranked number 174 in the world, and then they'll put up on the graphic of her accomplishments 0 tournament wins, but finished second, won a silver medal in the Olympics.
Yeah. I mean,
for Kazakhstan. You're like, what? Is that a great distinction? I don't know. It's probably their only medal, but where do you put that? Are these guys dead serious about winning the Olympic gold medal? And I don't know. Would you rather have a couple of Wimbledon wins?
Yes,
for sure,
100%.
But anyway, we did get validation yesterday on our opinion that soccer sucks and should be banned in the United States of America because immediately the U.S. team, the U.S. national team, already in turmoil and chaos because of the firing of Berhalter, their coach, after an abysmal effort where they couldn't beat what? So some country where they don't even have shoes. They're losing to, not to diminish these people in their plight, but nonetheless, when it would have been like the U.S. basketball team losing to South Sudan. But they get blown out of there. They fired a coach. They have an interim coach whose name we don't know. And they get shut out, the most embarrassing loss in Olympic history of the U.S. men's national team, 3-0.
Oh, they played? Oh, I know Argentina.
They played yesterday and lost to France. Yeah, that's what that whole opening rant was about there on the other show. Yeah.
That's the thing is they would probably have their real team and France would have their C team and they would still lose. That's the problem is losing to
3-0 though, and that was big, I guess. I don't know.
The problem is goals do matter. Like your point differential.
Oh, overall, yeah, differential.
It doesn't matter, especially if you're tight in a group. But like losing to France, didn't France get down to the final 8 or 4 in the Euros? The problem,
sure, it's no disgrace. It just,
I don't think this is their number 1 team. Yeah. That's the sad thing. Like Argentina, Messi's hurt, but even Messi wasn't hurt, Messi wouldn't be there. France isn't going to have their top. I don't think Mbappe is playing for France.
So it's another meaningless exhibition of a sport that nobody should watch or have any interest in to begin with. Guess that's a fair way of putting it. Anyway, we got validated because not only did that game suck and the U.S. team is horrible, but beyond that, then, of course, there was the standard riot. Oh, good. We're already ready with Dave Gurggles Gergely. I caught that, and then I was going to finish up this whole Olympic thing. But
that's fine. I'm not stopping.
I don't know. It just it feels good to have our opinion of soccer validated and proven once again that it's.
Someone say it sucked. I don't get it. What made it just that? The U.S. got annihilated again?
We shouldn't. You should ban 2 things in the United States of America. If Kamala Harris puts this as part of her agenda, that's it. It's over. Ban soccer in the United States of America and ban country music.
Country music is very popular.
Nobody should listen or subject themselves to country music, Lubie. I mean, please.
I'm not a big fan of it, but it is very, very popular. It's become very mainstream.
We've lost friends over country music.
Oh,
Mustang and I literally have lost friends over country music. We're on this guy's boat. He had, just a wicked, pad and a great boat. Takes us out there to, what is that, Boca Lake.
Okay.
And we're hanging out, and he's grilling burgers right there on the boat. He's got a grill. He's got, enough refrigeration to, be able to cater a party for 12 people there. And he's blasting his country music the whole time. And we had to, ask him to please stop. And nothing is more offensive to somebody than questioning their taste in music. Have you noticed that, Lubie, over the years?
Especially when you say, please stop.
Yeah, just shut it off, man. I mean, like anything. Mustang had a sledgehammer on. She doesn't hold back when she, wants to make a point.
Right. She lets it down.
So it should be banned. I mean, that could have saved like an embarrassment there. And I think it could save America. But soccer has to go. All right, let's bring on Dave Gurggles Gergely and get into the trivia challenger today, because later on in the program, we will feature probably, I mean, would he be, is it safe to give him the title of the number one Heat expert? With apologies
Winderman's there,
to Ira Winderman.
The two of them are great when it comes to the Heat. We just enjoy talking to Scoop more.
Scoop Skolnick, though. Wow. And, the Heat won the Summer League thing. And this other guy, Larson, is that the guy's name?
Yes.
Pell Larson?
Yes.
Many people think that you should not sleep on this kid. Their second-round pick.
I mean,
holy Kevin Edwards. What are we talking about here?
Ware, and then the Johnson kid, who's this big, strong, athletic kid who's very raw, but he got hurt early in the Summer League, so he wasn't playing. The three of them are going to be definitely on the roster. We'll see. I think Ware's going to, if not start, get starters level minutes. Larson's going to be interesting. Larson's like another Strus kind of player where he's pretty athletic. He can get the basket, and he can also hit an open shot.
Yeah.
Swider kid who's really just a poor man's Duncan Robinson. Larson's a lot more well-rounded player.
Can he shoot an underhanded free throw and make it from his knees like Dave Gurggles Gergely can?
That I don't know.
This guy is to basketball what Andy Varapapa, the famous trick shot bowler, was to bowling. Dave Gurggles Gergely joins us now for the trivia challenge. David, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. I'm excited. I got my new Bronny rookie card. It's just a picture of his dad with his arm around the kid.
Believe me, it'll be of immense value. I mean, did you have? I still to this day one of my only and very few regrets. I mean, there's no point, going back and worrying about something that you failed to do in the past. But we threw out all of those Karl Yastrzemski rookie cards that we had. Imagine that, because in a million years, you would have never thought. I mean, first of all, you couldn't pronounce the guy's name. We didn't know he was going to become like a giant Hall of Famer and one of the most popular players of all time in the city of Boston. But the rookie cards, I mean, wasn't that the first thing you tossed when you got a pack of baseball cards?
Oh, yeah. Or you bent them when you put them in the spokes in your bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. By all means, I remember them very well.
If you were flipping cards.
Olympics, I don't know if you people know, but the new craze or the new event added is breakdancing called breaking. And I was thinking, if they had that in the 90s, our dear esteemed colleague, the Pauly man, the way he used to do that on the fourth floor at Calder to hide behind the pole,
yeah, exactly.
Could have won the
event. Hiding from loan sharks, that should be an Olympic event, should it not? And then, of course, the Pauly man would have easily distanced the field in that one. Remember when every now and then you would be wondering, hey, what happened to the Pauly man? He was just here.
Wow, no kidding.
You'd see some guy rolling through there with Lefty who looked like Vito.
Pauly was lucky, though. Our Olympians never got the Russian judge to die when they owed him money. So Pauly he was fortunate there.
Yeah. We were talking about Olympic atrocities yesterday. I'm sure some more will pop up here today. All right. David, and how are you doing before we get into the trivia challenge here?
Doing fine. Counting down the days. August 14th, I'll leave.
Oh, beautiful.
Saratoga. I'll see our friend, Mr. Miramani, up there.
Doing a great job, Miramani. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, as they say, the August place to go. You got to put it on your bucket list to get up there sometime.
Yes, I've only made it there for the one day, although we did arrive and, come home in spectacular fashion, courtesy of the Duke's private jet, which was a nice little touch. Yeah, it was a spectacular experience all the way around. The kind of thing that it was supposed to be back in the day. You used to get a little of that, not quite the same atmosphere because you're in the countryside there in New York. But Belmont Park back in the day had a little bit of that thing where guys would be having picnics with the family and tossing a football around. There was a lot of space in the back. And, it was always a very glorious day. So it's real old school stuff. All right, Gergs, we're going to get into the trivia challenge, but I think Lubie had to go walk his dog.
That's no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Are you going to have any kind of influx of Olympic questions today? Because
I've got a bunch of Olympic questions, some specially designed for our star players, and some ones that I think will really challenge them, so to speak. Yep. So I've got a mix of Olympic questions. I've got a little bit of baseball, some leftover golf. Hey, we're ready to rock and roll.
All right, and I think we're back in action here with Mike Lubie. So. All right, let's get it going. We'll get the game started here in the traditional fashion. The aforementioned Polyman and Dave Gurggles Gergely with some
easy baseball. This major league player turned play-by-play man with yet another gaffe said, and the first pitch to Tucker Ashford is grounded into left field. No, wait a minute. It's ball one, low and outside. What's that? Our buddy Jerry Coleman, Vince Coleman, Ronald Coleman, or Gary Coleman?
One of the great Jerry Coleman malaprops. Never forget. He slides in the second with a stand-up double.
That's right.
Classic. All right. Our first player is Ron. Wow, look at that. New graphic ability, Lubie. What happened there? You punch a button and
I have no idea.
It superimposes Ron as being on the phone here on the screen. Ron, you're on the trivia challenge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
On the money as usual, Ron. Very sharp player, and we begin the game with a tremendous acumen here. One for one.
College hoops, Ron. True or false? UConn coach, and he still is, Dan Hurley, known for his sideline outbursts. His agent has received many commercial offers, the most unique coming from Folgers Decaf Coffee.
Wow.
True or false?
That's about right.
Let's go false on that.
I got to go false. Yeah.
That's false.
It sounded very Gurggles-esque. I mean, we could, catch your sense of humor in there. That is for sure. All right. Good job there spotting that, Ron. 2 for 2, going for 5.
All right. Baseball, Ron. Paul Skinnis is just the 5th rookie pitcher to start an all-star game of the following, which was not one of the other 4 rookie pitchers to start an all-star game. Was not.
Yeah.
Rick Sutcliffe, Dave Stenhouse, Mark Fidrich, Hideo Nomo.
Let's go A.
A.
That's right, Rick Sutcliffe.
Rick Sutcliffe did not do it. Very nice.
The other one that wasn't in there, Fernando Valenzuela, also was a rookie that started. Very good.
Bordering on brilliance here and the possibility of an opening sweep, Ron. Good luck.
All right, let's go to the Olympics. When Paris hosted the Olympics in 1900, it was the first time women were allowed to participate in 5 sports. Which of the following was not one of those 5 first-timers? Was not. Archery, croquet, sailing, or tennis?
Archery, croquet, sailing, or tennis?
Repeat that one more time. Sorry.
Sure. In 1900, there were 5 events that women were allowed to participate in the Olympics for the first time. Which of the following was not one of those first-timers in 1900 that women were allowed to participate?
Let me go with the Joe Biden cognizant test. See if I can remember him. Archery.
President Putin.
Highlight one of them?
President Putin? No. It was archery, croquet, sailing, or tennis.
Okay, I remembered one.
Let's go tennis.
Tennis.
No, believe it or not, it was archery. It was not one of those first 5 times.
Get out of here. You would have thought that was the first one they would have put in there.
Golf and equestrian.
Women's archery would have been big. Okay, well, nice job there, though. I got to the 5-point question, and now tally's 5. Ron setting the pace here early on in the trivia challenge. That's Dave Gurggles Gergely. You can dial us up We didn't even get the numbers out. We already had people in there, which is kind of cool because I can't remember the number. 954-417-0070, right? Does that sound familiar, Gurgs?
Yeah, yep.
95. This Biden thing has got me. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. If you'd like to play the game, Dave Gurggles Gergely and the trivia challenge, and let's fire off our next set of questions.
Sure. Okay. And let's do Olympics. Why not?
Okay.
This comedian on certain Olympic contests said, there are too many weird Olympic events now, like the one where gymnasts prance around the mat, swirling a piece of ribbon. I think it's called rhythmic gymnastics. Unless you're 5-year-old, then it's called playing. Jeff Stilson, Jeff Millman, Rusty Tillman, or Rusty Staub?
Nice tribute to Millman there. Let's roll the scrambler, Lubie. All right, classic. Once again, Lenny the Chronic. You're up next on the Trivia Challenge. Hello, Lenny the Chronic.
How you doing, guys?
Doing terrific, my friend. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good. Gurggles, you going to make an appearance tonight?
Well, if there's a chance you guys might win, I might show up.
All right, you better get down there.
Yeah, I got to get down there. You guys owe me money. I forgot.
Kiss of Death Dave coming out tonight. All right, you're in the game, Lenny the Chronic. Very good.
Baseball, Lenny, true or false? Recently inducted Hall of Famer Joe Mauer was a high school phenom in both basketball and baseball in St. Paul, Minnesota, and was named USA Today's High School Player of the Year in basketball and baseball. Basketball in 2000 and baseball in 2001. True or false?
They can make this true. I'm going to go true.
Sounds true. Yeah, he says true.
No, it's false. It was
Make that up?
It was kind of tough one, Lenny. It was football.
He was the number one quarterback in the country.
Basketball.
He was supposed to go to FSU, and then he was like a top 5 pick and went to the Twins.
Nothing more dastardly than a bogus true-false question.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but it was Lenny, so it was worth it.
I think
trick question.
Too.
Trick true-false questions always, we're a tough spot to be in on the show. No problem there, Lenny. You've been able to manage your way through this kind of situation in the past. A chance at 4 points here.
All right, Lenny, pro wrestling. Which of the following professional wrestlers was inducted into the Ithaca College Hall of Fame?
Wow.
Earl Maynard, Gorilla Monsoon, Baron Miguel Cicluna, or Arnold Skolin?
What were those names again?
Sure. Earl Maynard, Mr. Universe, Gorilla Monsoon, Baron Miguel Cicluna, or Arnold Skolin?
Yeah, let's go with Gorilla Monsoon.
Monsoon.
That's right.
Get out of here.
Better known as Gino Marcella. He was a wrestler at Ithaca College. Wow.
Really? That's ridiculous. All right.
That was great, though, because I was convinced as a kid that Monsoon actually was from the country, Manchuria, and that he spoke no English. It turned out he was a calf from New Jersey that wrestled at Ithaca College. All right. Good job, Lenny. 4 going for 9.
Wow. All right, let's go to the Olympics, Lenny. Of the following men who won Olympic medals in both the summer and winter games, which of the following was not one of these?
Okay.
Eddie Egan, Eddie Alvarez, Jacob Tula-Stams, or Maurice Gosfield?
Let's go Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie Alvarez
won a silver in 2014 in speed skating, and a 2020 in baseball. The one that didn't was Maurice Gosfield. You know who that is? That's the guy that played Doberman on Sergeant Bilko.
He played who in Sergeant Bilko?
Doberman.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Hang on, Chronic. You have 4. You may be in the final.
All right, Chronic has 4 points, so he pulled down a very difficult question on Gorilla Monsoon here. Gurggles Perdomo Cigars, as we set up our next players. Perdomo Cigars, always a good bet, man, and I'm sure they'll be in plentiful supply when you make your venture up to Toga.
Yeah, and we're selling them here, of course, at the golf course. We sell the 20th anniversary, the champagne, and it's a great cigar. On my personal, I like the Edición de Silvio. Some of the folks like the Maduro wrappers, a little bit stronger. They've got something for everybody's taste, and they're easy to get to. 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto, just a little bit east of the Home Depot on the south side. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go see Nubia. She'll direct you into the humidor built by our late great friend, the Mad Dog. And you can get cigars perfect one at a time by Perdomo. Call them 305-627-6700. Maybe you want some Saturday or Sunday, and last minute you're going, they're closed on the weekends. Not a problem. Any tobacconist or salt will have Perdomo cigars in their store. If you're not sure, go online, www.perdomocigars.com, to find the retailer near you that sells these great cigars. So this weekend, after you celebrate listening to Celine Dion, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
She making a comeback, Gurggles?
Supposedly at the Olympics, she's going to sing.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
That's the first time in a while.
Very good, man. That's a touching story you got when you see it. I was not a big Celine Dion fan, but
that's when I
couldn't
went
help
to Vegas for the young lady, and we picked the show to go to. I picked the late, great Danny Gans, who was terrific.
Oh, Danny Gans was great, man.
And she picked Celine Dion. I wanted to put knitting needles in my ears.
You would have been better off with Gans, man. He was Mr. Las Vegas, like the real people knew that Danny Gans was the man there. That it was never Wayne Newton. All right, we're coming back with more here, and I'll have some more players for you or opportunities to play. Ron has 5 points, good game so far. Lenny the Chronic with 4. Lubie will be at Landlubbers later on tonight with his live trivia. Can new people just come? I mean, is it open?
Yes, it's a restaurant. Whoever is there has a chance to play, and every week we get 2 or 3 new groups. We get a lot of return people. We're really grateful for the people that keep coming back, and it's been fun in the middle of the summer where a lot of people are struggling. It doesn't seem to be the problem at Landlubber. So tonight, 6:30, Sunrise Boulevard, Pine Island, and the Plantation Sunrise border. Come check us out. Always a good time.
Yeah, and I would recommend for newbies, don't be threatened and say, I don't know much trivia, because the unique combination of the professor's questions, Mike's announcing, and the songs they play to give you as hints really make it entertaining. Plus, to get the best cheeseburger in town for $8.99 tonight.
Multimedia presentation by Lubie and the Professor. That is fantastic.
Really well done.
So they don't eyeball the new teams coming in like the Chronics don't give them the look like they were the new fish at Oz. I don't know if you remember that show.
Hard to believe that Lubie can be that nice to someone. He is.
All right, we're going to come back and continue the trivia challenge in a moment with Dave Gurggles Gergely. Now that it's 8:34. Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante. Vermont's now 1 mile and an 8. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici just switch the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on The Defo Show.
It's always weird when you go to a betting situation or into one with just unwavering enthusiasm, thinking that you've got this, and there we were backing Luca Panici, who I believe is still running in the Belmont Stakes. Non-menacing. What would you call that? Like a non-menacing fifth in a 6-horse field or something like that. Didn't work out as well as we had hoped. A lot of money went up in smoke. All right, we're going to continue the game here, and Scoop Skolnick's going to join us in about 10 minutes. So we'll wrap this thing up and pop another player into the equation. We'll get right to it and then go to the finals, and we'll get right to it with Dave Gurggles Gergely.
College hoops. This Washington State coach on health issues said, if I ever needed a heart transplant, I want Bobby Knight's. It's never been used. Was that George Raveling, George Goebel, Boy George, or Eddie George?
By the way, the Scoop Skolnick appearance is now suspect and subject to certain other circumstances working out. So that may not happen, but nonetheless, we're going to continue the game here. And look at that. Unbelievable. It's good to know. This is validation, another one of those validation things about our opinion on soccer, that soccer should be banned in America. And it's always good to validate that this man is alive. We love this guy. Andy, welcome to the show. Hello, Andy.
Hey, long-time listener. First-time trivia. Hey, why'd you do a heart transplant? Why do you ask a heart transplant question when you get me on the air? Question.
Well, I mean, you would be a ringer to get this one right.
You know our room.
Yeah. How would you not know this?
I'll go with B.
Good enough.
I'll try A.
I think B was Phil Silvers. Yeah. All right. You're in the game, Andy, and I'm glad that you're okay. You sound like you're in great spirits here.
All right.
That stock market plunge didn't have you on the high board somewhere?
It's usually good for him.
No?
He actually hedges. He goes the other way.
Oh, that's right. You love seeing that
He
ready.
goes the other way. That's his point. Is he waits for it to fucking plummet.
But now I need up. Today I need up though. Looking for
Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead, Gertz. Yeah.
Baseball, true or false? At this past week's induction to the Hall of Fame, former Marlins skipper Jim Leyland didn't wear any logo on his cap because he managed several teams, and he said, I just couldn't be disrespectful to anybody. True or false?
Yeah, but he had the 6-horse. He had the 6-dog over at That's what he inducted. Yeah. I didn't even know that was Leland when I used to go to the dog track. I was talking to the guy, and then I realized he was the manager.
Is there a dog track in Cooperstown? That would be interesting.
He said false.
False.
No, it's true. No, that's true.
True?
That's true. No logo.
He was equally great everywhere except for, he won with the Marlins, but he was great in all three places.
Very good. All right. 1 point going for 4 here, Andy. This is tying you for second.
That was a nice, speaking of this guy, there was a great special on, I think, Monday night or something on CBS about the career of Bob Newhart. And here's a question about him. Golf. Okay. The late Bob Newhart played in the Bing Crosby Pro-Am at Pebble Beach during the 1970s. Which of the following was his professional partner?
Okay.
George Knudson, George Archer, George Boutelle, or Billy Casper?
Phyllis George. That's a tough one.
I'll go with Billy Casper.
I'm going to go George Archer.
No, it was the little-known George Boutelle of California.
Wow. I mean, he must have had a very short PGA professional golf career. All right. No shame in missing that one, Andy. You have a shot at 6 points, which would give you the lead.
All right, let's give you another golf question, Andy. With Schauffele winning the Open, it was the first time since 1982 that all 4 majors in the same year were won by U.S. players. In 82, which of the following won the PGA to complete the U.S. sweep that year? Tom Watson, Craig Statler, Raymond Floyd, or Tom Kite?
It got garbled in the middle, but I'll go with who's the third guy that you had in there?
I had Tom Watson, Craig Statler, Raymond Floyd, or Tom Kite.
Yeah, let's go with Ray Floyd.
You're a big Ray Floyd fan. That's correct. All right, nice job, Andy.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, man. You just knocked the Chronic out. Beautiful. First round knockout of the Chronic. So we're going to pair up Ron and Andy for the championship here. And apparently now we have made some adjustments to the schedule, and Scoop Skolnick will join us, but without having the video of the very dashing and handsome and debonair Scoop Skolnick. But we'll get into some buckets and maybe a little bit about this whole U.S. thing in the Olympic Games as well. Heat winning the Summer League championships. And I would imagine Scoop and his organization, their 5 Reasons Sports Network, Gurggles, all over the Miami Dolphins and training camp and the possible contract impasse with one Tua Tagovailoa. Always a fascinating topic to spend hours on a sports show.
Do you know an under-over for the Dolphins for the season? Maybe 11? I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen one, so I couldn't say. I'd be venturing a guess. I think it's low, though, Gergs. I don't even think it was as high as double digits. So, and that's odd because the team, I mean, if you're following the advice of the Mick in the Rocky movies, you need speed. They certainly have that, Gurggles. All right, quick word about Perdomo Cigars before we get into the finals here. Lubie working on that. And, of course, we love the endorsement because Nick Perdomo, he's just been a prince of a human being forever. Company is great and tremendous to see, like, people starting from scratch, literally, make good.
I'm sorry, they're vacuuming in the hallway. I couldn't hear it.
Oh, really?
You're talking about Perdomo Cigars.
Yes. That's something I know you can embellish, yes.
5150 Northwest 167th Street, just about 2 miles from the golf course here. We got it right here in the pro shop. We're going to be open here, I believe, till the end of November, and then a big redoing of the entire golf course. It's going to be exciting. But now, in the meantime, come out and play golf here at Miami Lakes Golf Club. Get yourself a nice Perdomo cigar either here or by visiting Nick in person, 305-627-6700. Call and go see Nubia and go online to www.perdomocigars.com to find the retailer near you. If it's a weekend when Perdomo's is closed and you can't make it to our golf course, you can always find Perdomo cigars because they are simply the best.
Excellent. All right, we're ready for the finals here. We have a couple of classic players, Andy and Ron. Gurggles is going to fire off the question. Call out your name if you want to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. First person to call out his name gets first chance. Back and forth till we have a winner. David, for the championship of this morning's edition of the Trivia Challenge.
My favorite question of the day. The last time the U.S. women's basketball team did not win the gold.
They won
the bronze in 1992 by defeating
Ooh. All right. Here's multiple choice.
Was that Spain, China, Cuba, or Czechoslovakia?
Ronnie, you can go first.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, that was going to be a silence off there for a second. All right, go ahead, Ronnie. You can take a shot at this thing.
Okay. Let's go Cuba.
Cuba.
That's right.
Oh, my God. A fatal mistake made by Andy.
Congratulations. You're the dumbass, Andy.
Bonus question for anybody.
I mean, you should get the...
Who won the gold in 1992?
Who did? I don't know. No idea.
How about this? The Commonwealth of Independent States, better known as Eurasia, after the breakup of Russia.
What the fuck? All right, that makes some sense. Yeah, the Russian women, they were all like 7'5". They were ridiculous, built like Tamara Press. All right, Gurggles, good job, and thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next week, and then, of course, we'll look forward to your Saratoga trip. That's going to be great.
You got it.
All right, Dave Gurggles Gergely, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are going to be joined here in just a couple of seconds by the great Ethan Scoop Skolnick, 5 Reasons Sports Network, where we sometimes post material. And always happy to get a good response to that. In fact, our most appreciated and most watched 5 Reasons entries, usually, and it's interesting, involve our interviews with Scoop Skolnick, who owns the network and appears on, I would imagine, any number of shows.
He appears on a lot of shows. I feel bad when we not waste of time, use his time to join us, but we always enjoy talking to him, so it is what it is.
Well, we need the numbers, so why not put the man on? I mean, it's like
it does boost our numbers.
Barstool putting Portnoy on to review a pizza parlor. I mean, of course, it's going to generate numerology for even the lamest of shows. So hopefully we'll be able to. Do we have the scooper with us? via phone here, Lubie?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Let's introduce him. And unfortunately, couldn't do the video today. Had something pop up there at the house, but we welcome to the show from 5 Reasons Sports Network, the founder, the CEO, and the omnipresent reporter, Ethan Scoop Skolnick. Scoop, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. You know, aren't people supposed to leave Florida during the summer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a torch field out there. It's unbelievable.
It's just as bad traffic.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's like playing a game of Frogger. Good to talk to you guys. I'm always happy to join.
Good morning.
Oh, good. Okay. Because Lubie's
misrepresenting. No. I'm good to join. I just wasn't. I had to drop my camp.
Well, and it's always good having you on because you do cover all bases there with 5 Reasons, but there's nobody that is more heat centric, and we've put you up there in the same pedestal as one Ira Winderman. And I don't know, you know what, if I had to vote today, and I love Winderman, except the fact that he's blind when it comes to his tennis calls, but he has a pretty good vision for what's going on with the Miami Heat, having been there since day number 1. But I think overall basketball knowledge, Scoop, I don't know that anybody has impressed me more over the years than you have. So it's good to have you on the program here. Now we love the fact that you had degenerated to the point where you had gone even beneath the lowest of barometers that we set on the program here, and you were betting over under point totals on Larson, Pelle Larson of the Miami Heat in their opening summer league game, where you have no idea what the fuck's going to happen. You might have been onto something, though, Scoop. I mean, are we getting a little carried away and attaching meaning to this summer league championship? Because I thought Ware was great. This Larson guy, people are touting, and there were other players there that looked like they could be contributing pros. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, we said before the summer league started, I thought it was probably their best team that they put together, maybe since the one with Hero, Nunn, and Duncan, which was, I guess, 2019. But actually, this one turned out to be better because it's a combination not just of draft picks, but also of the undrafted, and I think it kind of shows at this point that part of the Heat organization is probably operating at its highest level. And by that I mean the kind of the talent identification out of college and then development along with it. Adam Simon and his group, they're on a really, really good run. I mean, we had said after last year and some of the two ways, and then again losing Strus and Vincent, and then this year we thought they'd lose either Martin or Highsmith, maybe both. They ended up losing Martin, of course, in circumstances with that were mostly agent related, but that they needed to replenish the system, and they have. And again, it's not just Ware and Larson. The thing with Larson is it's really two different situations. With Ware, the talent is obvious. They took an upside swing. We talked about it after the draft. They took an upside swing, which they don't always do, and they're going to try to coach the other things up. And I think there's some work that he's going to have to do in training camp to prove he can be on the floor. The numbers are nice, but the pick and roll defense, the screen setting, these are the kinds of things that Spo is going to evaluate on how many minutes he can give him. But definitely the talent is there, and it's a worthwhile project for them. Larson's a little different because Larson seems ready to play right. And the thing that was happening with Larson was I was hearing about how well he was playing in practice and how impressed coaches were with him, but he wasn't really shooting well. And that's, one of the primary skills that he brings. And so it wasn't really translating much to the games. But as the games continued and he got more comfortable, that started to come around too. It's crazy to say that. I'm not just saying because it's a white European, but I mean, some of his stuff reminds me of Goran, honestly. He's not a point guard, but the body control, even the last shot he hit reminded me of something Goran would have done. So they've got an interesting player there, and that doesn't even include Keshad Johnson, who we had on the podcast, who they really like, who's going to play this year. It's kind of a glue guy. And then also, I think they're going to give two ways to Isaiah Stevens and Josh Christopher, and they got to make decisions on Caleb Daniels and Alonzo Williams as well. And then, Zion Pullen wasn't bad either. So they're really stocked there, and honestly, they don't have enough slots for this guy.
Well, and it's interesting because, look, I always, being as an NBA fan as I am, I keep an eye on the Summer League, but I found myself this time around, like, appointment watching because the team was really freaking good. And to me, like you said, they're not going to keep all the guys. Ware will be on the team, Larson as a draft pick, and Johnson as an undrafted free agent even before Summer League. Feels like they already have spots. But when you watch Christopher, the dude was hitting 5 to 7 threes every game, and he was hitting them at big moments. And he was also playing defense, and he was also getting to the basket, and he was also, whenever they talked to him, very humble, a guy that had been there before and been trying to break through, and it seems like he's learned something. When you watch Williams, a super athletic guy who can also hit the three. Swider, I don't think he'll make it, but he's a guy that looks like he has NBA three-point specialist right on him. He looks like Hauser. I mean, they kept comparing him to Hauser. He looks like he's a little bit more athletic, actually, than Hauser. The Isaiah kid, who was the point guard, that I know there's no room for him, but I know Brady Hawk is a huge fan, and I can't lie. He is a playmaker who can also hit threes. Like, they're not going to keep all these guys, but usually you'll watch their summer league teams or other summer league teams, and there's like 2 dudes that'll make an NBA, like the Drew Smith, right? Who is another guy that's been hanging around, who'll make a roster 2 ways, but he's not going to play a lot. To me, that team had 7 dudes, when you include Ware and Larson and Johnson, that will be on NBA rosters and will get NBA minutes. I think the Heat will keep 4 or 5 of them, but it's rare to see a summer league team look like that. Like, it didn't look like a bunch of dudes at the park. Like, it looked like an NBA roster, and it was actually pretty impressive to watch.
Well, I wish Joey, my friend asked me, like, if he put Jaquez on that team, which again, he was there for 2 games.
Yeah.
If you put Jaquez on that team, does that team win more than 20 games at the end of the day? And I'm like, maybe. Probably, actually. They're probably better than Detroit. I think you're right. I think some of these guys are going to end up on other teams. That's the unfortunate part of it. I mean, it's not like baseball, you can stash them in the minors. I mean, the Heat fought for that 3rd two-way spot, a couple of years ago. They were one of the teams that pushed for it. Spo was very happy with that. So, at least that's worked out where there's a little bit more, where there's a little bit more, space there. Drew Smith is the one that's kind of the sore spot with Heat fans. He's a Spo favorite. He's coming off an injury. Doesn't really do anything offensively that flashy. Pretty good defender. I have a hard time seeing them keeping him over Isaiah Stevens, honestly, after we saw the way that Isaiah Stevens ran a team. I mean, right now they got Tolan on one of the 2 ways. I think Stevens will take his, but I don't know why you need Drew Smith to take the other one if you're going to keep the point guard. I would keep Josh Christopher as the 3rd. And then, you're probably going to lose Alondas Williams and Swider, honestly. I like Alondas a lot. I think, he's clear talent. The problem is when the Heat look at these guys, it's, okay, how do they fit around? What's the role they're going to fit around? Yep. Right? And so I think they can take one upside swing maybe in Christopher and try to get him to be more of a 3-and-D guy. Williams is a guy who seems to be like he needs the ball in his hands. Like, I hate to say it, like Alondas Williams is going to lead an overseas team in scoring. Yep. Feels a little bit to me like Kendrick Nunn, to be honest. So I don't know if they keep him, even though I know that they really liked him last year and they saw him moving ahead. Swider, to me, you mentioned Hauser. The problem with Swider is I just like people compare him to Duncan. Duncan had more tools, I thought, to work with defensively than Swider does. Swider to me he's too stiff. I don't know. I don't know if you can keep him on an NBA floor defensively. That would be my question. But is he a shooter? Yes, absolutely. And some teams are going to take that shot.
The great Scoop Skolnick. I know you only have about a minute to go here, and you have to go venture off into another endeavor. But quick thought on the Olympic team: how the fuck are we losing? Or coming close to losing? I'm looking at LeBron saving the day here at 50 years old.
LeBron have to save them.
My God, they have an all-star team of the top NBA players. You can't tell me that the rest of the world has caught up with these guys. What's going on there, Scoop? If you can capsulize it real quickly.
It is crazy that they got this 40-year-old who has to save them. I'll say this: I don't like the team that much that they put together. I like parts of it. This idea that they're equivalent to the Dream Team or the Redeem Team. I didn't think that from the start. Look, first thing, I do think they need KD because he's very good in this format. They've always needed a scorer like that. I liked what Edwards did for Team USA last year. He seems like a little bit of a weird fit on this team. Yep. And Booker doesn't provide enough for me. And then defensively, I think they're going to have some issues on the perimeter. they're going to need Bam and AD to clean up a lot of stuff. And that's why I think, first thing, Embiid doesn't belong. That's just, he's not, yes, he's the best of the bigs on this roster in the NBA. I would be playing Bam and AD ahead of him. Yep. And it feels to me like they made him some kind of a promise to start. Yep. And they're going to stick with it, but he's not right. The things he does in the NBA, the foul baiting, it just doesn't work here. And honestly, I think Bam should be starting. And I'm not just homerism, but you just need a guy who doesn't need the ball. You're going to have Curry and Durant in the starting lineup. You're going to have LeBron. I'd start Drew. I think Drew to me is going to play a ton of minutes because again, I don't think they can guard the perimeter. Yep. I would start Drew over Devin, and I think they're going to win it. I do, but I think they're going to lose a game along the way. I think this is going to be one of these situations where they get scared. France is dangerous. I mean, Canada is dangerous. Spain is dangerous. There's at least 4 or 5 teams. I even think Puerto Rico could give them a game in the wrong situation. And then they open with Serbia, and they're going to see Jokic and Jovic right from the start, and that's going to be fun because Jovic is going to have to guard Bam. It looks like in the matchups because it looks like Embiid will be with Jokic. So I think they win, but if you told me take the field over them, I might do it.
Wow. Imagine being the poor schmuck who had Sudan on the money line. Which had to be enormous. I don't even know if I can do the math on 44 and a hook or whatever the point spread was. But wow, how did it great sound. Scoop, I know you got to run. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much. And this should hit some really enormous numbers on your own network now that we had you on the show. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
All right. Scoop Skolnick, ladies and gentlemen. Scoop knows his shit. I mean, it's one thing to be a reporter and, BS your way through things. I mean, I think most talk radio hosts can do that on almost any subject.
Well, we do, yes.
Yeah. But when you get into this minutia detail and you start talking about, players like Nunn and talking about how this guy is going to do if he's the third scorer on some Turkish basketball team.
But see, that's the thing. He's not
That's
wrong.
fucking knowledge, man.
Really good.
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
It's weird. Like this isn't me being a homer. Right? We've done shows for how long? Summer League's been around the entire time. The Heat have had interesting rookies. I've never cared about it. Even when they played well, played poor, it didn't matter. This team literally looked the way they played. And I said this the other day. I didn't think they were an NBA team. I like that someone asked him and he was like, yeah, they probably could win 20. I don't know what they could win in an NBA season, but when you watch them play, it didn't look like summer league. Like they would get down in games and it was worth it to still watch it to the end because they would then make a comeback and then they would play defense and get stops. And it was like, you don't see teamwork like this on a summer league team. Like it's usually guys trying to get their numbers because they're trying to make the fucking NBA. These guys were passing it. They were playing team defense. They were rebounding late in games. I'm like, what is going on? Like this team is really like this. The 7 guys on this team are going to be in the NBA. Like the Heat will probably have 4 or 5 of them, but you're going to see and that's usually not the case on the summer league roster. It's like 1 or 2 NBA guys. Like it was a weird team, and you're
wondering why the guy is out there.
So you're wondering
how shaky is his future status as an NBA player that he's out there in year number 2 or whatever, like Hawkins Jr. was, which we know that guy is a solid piece of the Heat's plans.
Just to get him some
most impressive, honestly, Lubie, and I watched the post game interviews with these guys. I didn't see a ton of their games during. I saw portions of them, but I was watching some summer league basketball for. Maybe I spent as much time on that as I ever have, which was 0 prior to this. But I'm always interested. Like I said, yesterday we were talking about it, where as a sports fan, you like to see, is there something coming through the system here that makes sense? But what you see, and you always hear the whole thing talked about Heat culture, and we've seen them develop guys and have players that really seem to be finished as NBA commodities.
Yes,
come back to the team, or get a rebirth on the Heat's roster, and then disappear again.
Yes.
Holy Ike Austin, what are we talking about here?
Well, no, it's and we hate the Patriots, but what they got hailed for when they were great, and it seemed like a lot like the Spurs, where it was more Brady than it was Belichick and his genius. But they were great at finding guys to surround their main guys that could maybe not be great all around, but could do one thing very well. And they accentuated that one thing very well. And that's what the Heat have become good at, is getting the best out of players in a way that they never saw it before and really don't see it after. Just they're great at that's why when they lose guys, fans don't really, some of them freak out because they don't understand the Heat, but those that have followed the Heat a long time don't care because they're always good at that dude was random. They helped make him good, but he was random. Why can't they do it again as they've done it like 12 times before? Like they do it over and over.
I mean, you can see their system though, because if you listen to the players and saw the composure that they had, and the fact that they could synthesize. I mean, you would have to think in any tryout, Lubie. I mean, you want to play team ball, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you have to do something. If you're not any cinch to make the team, you're not a known commodity. You're trying to do something to impress.
Yes.
I mean, you almost have to take that approach. Otherwise, they're just going to cut you, and that's going to be that. So you want to do something, and the tendency would be to go ahead, maybe force a couple of shots that you otherwise wouldn't take, just to say, hey, okay, I'm in the box score at least. Or they had to notice that 3 ball out of the corner. I hit it 2 times, as opposed to maybe making a better play. But that they could synthesize that from a team concept. The way they did, it was pretty impressive. I don't know who this coach was. Was he their G League coach? I mean, you're looking at a guy that's probably like 10 coaches removed from being Spoelstra.
Oh, yeah. No,
and he really had his act together, I thought. It was very, very impressive. So you see that, and then I guess, I don't know. I mean, do other organizations tip their hand by, you see chaos when they come to these sort of things? Because you could not have had a better groomed group of players to represent your organization than the Miami Heat did in that summer league thing. Yep. And like you said, they may have actually accrued some talent. It's interesting because if you look, middle of the draft in the first round, usually you're lucky to get somebody that actually even makes the roster. And what have they done? They got Jaquez Jr.
Yes.
They got Bam Adebayo and your favorite Tyler Hero, all in that area.
Yes.
3 very viable NBA commodities. Although, what did we discuss that with somebody? The future of Tyler Hero, is he El Finito now?
Scoop, and he feels like probably is not going to be around, but they're not just going to give him away. The way they see him is not what the NBA sees him, and they're not going to just give him away. And I agree. I don't see him being on this team. I think when that's what Scoop said, it's pretty clear what he is. He misses a lot of games, whether it's injury prone or not. He's going to miss games, and he's gotten to a certain level, but he's not getting past that. When we talked to Scoop last, Scoop said that he'd have said, look, we know who he is. We know what he is. Yeah. We get it. But they also do. Well, look, the guy's a 25-4 guy. Like, you can't just give that away for random picks because he's going to do something somewhere else. You're going to see him put up numbers. Like, the guy, it's playing time. Playing is his issue. It's not.
Yeah, he might benefit from being somewhere else. It's possible. So, where they just want him to score, and that's all they give a shit about. And there are teams probably in that situation where they could benefit from him, maybe more so than the Miami Heat. All right, Olympics on the way. I mean, validated the point. It was great to get this validation that soccer in America should not be allowed. If Trump was saying, I would have to reconsider my vote. Sure, if Trump was saying that he was going to ban soccer. Look, they're banning everything else: abortion, books.
Everything.
Voting rights, women's rights,
types of marriage. Yep.
Yeah. So why not just go ahead and ban soccer? Do something meaningful, Donnie boy, if you get the chance. He's already into like low-level name calling too with Kamala, and then deliberately mispronouncing her name over and over again. Because what happened to respect, Lubie? Where you say I remember when I was in you did a debate class, right, at FSU. You were like a professor of debate.
In high school, I debate for 3 years, and in college, I was a speech teacher / EA.
With all due respect to my very worthy opponent, what happened to that as a preface for something?
Well, it's what Mayo Hazen is true. You're not supposed to go ad hominem. What I think is funny is when the Dems are bringing up actual facts. They're like, that's ad hominem. It's like, no, they're just bringing up facts. Like what Trump wants to do would ruin the economy. The things they've done have strengthened the economy. When you bring up facts, that's not ad hominem. That's just
his Project 2025. I mean, I can't even believe. I mean, it really does. I mean, it reads like out of the pages of Mein Kampf. What the fuck are we talking about here?
It's taking look what Biden said yesterday, and it's what Harris has said a lot is one side wants to go forward,
yeah,
and one wants to go back, and they don't even want to go back to
Let's go forward into the past. Exactly.
They want to go back to like like birth control has been around since the 1800s.
Salem witch hunts wouldn't be uncommon.
They want to go back to like fucking times that no one, even the farthest of right persons, like we didn't want to do that.
No.
Like birth, like
sure is. I mean, you have to say it's modern day bullshit, because it's all pop culture and that kind of thing, and where nobody really pays attention to what's going on. There's no depth to it, but I mean, there is in certain circles. But what a crazy Meshuggah run for presidency is coming up. I mean, if you think about it, I'm happy to see the momentum supposedly gathered there by Kamala Harris, and I thought she acquitted herself like a champ when she spoke in front of the staff. Now that was going to be her staff for the campaign, as opposed to pumping up Joe Biden. We do see a little bit of wincing on the parts of the Republicans who had this thing in the bag. I believe that, Lubie, that Biden would have lost.
Biden may have lost. I don't think anything's in the bag. I mean, I think it still comes down to the policies at some point. I know everyone thinks the Americans don't care about policies. They don't.
But there was no attention being paid to that because they had done a great job of painting a feeble Joe Biden, incapable of running the country. And then Biden was showing every signs that they were right.
At some point, we're going to get back to policy. So I figured it would tighten. It would be close. Biden may or may not win. The problem is there was no energy there. People like you, my wife. It wasn't a race or an age group. It was everyone was just sort of lethargic.
He looked like a dead man. He really did.
I don't care about him. He was going to be fine. The people voting for them, whether it was independents, undecideds, left, whatever you call them. And again, it wasn't just one age group or one background. It was everyone was just lethargic. They just were. She came in, and I would have been for it like Mayo if I thought it was going to go like this. It was supposed to be an open convention and all this bullshit, and we're just going to be chaos.
It didn't necessarily have to go like this. So I'm happy that it did.
That's the thing. The fact that it happened like this, of course. Look,
could have gone the other way just as easily.
Yeah, looking back at it, this was the perfect move. The fact that the Republicans all they talk about is negative things about her laugh.
The DEI thing, I think, will be the death of these people.
The fact that they only talk about that it's illegal. Like if you notice where they were sort of talking about Biden and policy, now they don't talk about anything real because they're freaking out. Like you only act like that if you're freaking out. If you're confident, you don't care about any of that bullshit because it doesn't matter. The problem is they don't have anything else to go to. He actually is qualified. Like everything they're saying is a lie. She's as qualified as anyone. I mean, her background.
What Trump's qualifications before he became president?
What are his qualifications now?
And this J.D. Vance guy is an embarrassment already.
He's a 2-year senator, and everything he says is fucking. And he's a bright dude, and he's eloquent, and that's how crazy the shit he's saying is. He's a bright, eloquent dude, where he's not Trump.
Well, he was right in the first place. He's one of those guys that switched off betting the 6 ball and bet the 8 instead, and then is running around at the track going, "Fuck! I can't believe it! I left out the 6."
Look, Trump.
I mean, he was right the first time. Trump is an embarrassing threat.
Yes. Well, yes. It's funny because all the stuff that'll help them win are the things that they're not doing, and they sort of can't. Like if they try to make it about policy, they don't have any. They don't have policy.
No, I haven't heard much in the way of what's actually going to happen.
All their policies are the Project 2025, Agenda 47, which isn't policies. It's just let's do things like the old way, where it was only beneficial to old white men.
This struck me in the Nixon campaign, where he was campaigning on a platform that I have a plan to end the war in Vietnam. Okay. And you're thinking, well, if you do have this plan and it could end the war in Vietnam, why not let us in on it so that we can end the war now?
What is the fucking plan?
And guess what? If you do come up with a plan to end the war in Vietnam and it works, we'll be more than happy to make you our president because you'll have delivered on a giant promise that seemed inconceivable. And, and we know it's not BS that you really have the ability to do these sort of things. So, you have Trump doing the same thing. Yeah, well, I'll end this Russian war in the Ukraine. Immediately. I could do it with one phone call. Okay, do it then. And guess what? I would change. It would certainly influence my opinion of the fact that maybe I can overcome the fact that you're, a lying scumbag. No, I don't think I can get past that.
No, but he doesn't have a plan.
The sexual assault in the dressing room at Bloomingdale's or whatever that was. I mean, please, people, what are we talking about here? Rudy Giuliani, an embarrassment.
But anyway, It's nice that she's energized the people.
I'm happy that you're okay with this now. Yeah.
Oh well, because it was swift. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Mayo wanted the stuff a lot of people wanted was literally impossible, and that's what I was saying. To wait till the convention isn't until August 19th. Early voting starts.
They couldn't wait. If anything, as we know, they waited too long.
Well, but it worked.
But it might be the timing was just right because there probably will be things that surface about Kamala Harris that would dissuade people from voting for her. But nonetheless, there won't be time for all of that to evolve because right now we're just riding a little bit of a wave of enthusiasm that the anybody but Trump theory certainly is applicable. But too. I mean, there was great admiration for Biden and all of the shit that he did while he was president. So.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that are actually saying, I don't know that I see this because what you did see, they were showing old clips of Biden when he was making his original run for president many, many years ago. I think he started campaigning for president in like 1988. Is that possible? Does that ring a bell with you, Lubie?
I feel like
and they were showing clips of it. And he was sort of a vibrant, gun-ho, pro-America. I mean, he was really the Make America Great Again guy at that time. And of course, he didn't get the nomination, and then he finally got it with Barack Obama.
Yes.
In what 2000 was that?
2008. Remember
2008. Yeah.
That's what's funny is as much as people don't like the old Biden, he never had a chance until he was old. When he was younger, he always was.
He was very impressive. I really don't remember him being anything but somewhat nondescript as a politician. But
he was always too centrist. He was always too moderate and people wanted more left-leaning. The problem is the right went so right that you were happy to get a moderate.
But he was a shell of that guy. I mean, as most people are by the time they get to 81 from 50. Yeah. Witness me on the show. All right, we're going to get out of here, Lubie. Enough. But very interesting developments. And I'm glad that your soul has been calmed a little bit with the idea that we're in there with a shot. All right, we will see you guys 1 o'clock today. Even Keel Fish Shack. And that is Lauderdale by the Sea. Very nice place. Do we do it again? Do we just automatically go for the fish and chips there, which are the best I think I've had? And that's saying a lot. I mean, there are many places that do this well. I don't know that anybody does it quite as well.
Everyone does it. I mean, most people do it really well. Bonefish Max that gives you like a ridiculous, 4 people could eat off of there.
I would imagine, other seafood places do a decent fish and chips.
Landlubber does nice fish and chips. Lots of places do, I'm sure, shenanigans. A lot of places do good fish and chips. What's different is they don't use mahi-mahi.
This stuff melts in your mouth, man. It's unbelievable.
And then they make the...
we need a fly swatter to keep Mayo from grabbing a couple of pieces. That one was mine, Mike. No, he's okay about that.
That's great. I mean, they do
All right, so we'll see you there 1 o'clock. And then tomorrow, Degenerate Friday should feature the professor on a big board. So that'll be a lot of fun. For Mike Lubie Lubitz and Dave Gurggles Gergely, thanks for being with us. Scoop Skolnick, always very interesting and informative. I'm Jeff DeForest. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time as we leave you now that.
The time?
It's 9:14.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my show.